Hello, welcome to the Honest Wargamer. I'm your host, Rob, and this is the Age of Sigmar Stat Center, where every single week we look at the event results from the weekend, and then we talk about the list, the results, the players, and we deep dive all that information, which is super exciting, to bring you the hottest news, trends, and information in Age of Sigmar. Now, we've got some pretty cool news if you are an Age of Sigmar fan. If you go over also onto the Honest Wargamer website and you go check out the book that I wrote, no, you don't need to read that. But if you do go into Age of Sigmar and look at the player rankings, you can see that we have indeed updated our player rankings. Shout out to Warhammer Rob, who does all of these. He's also updated me with the latest army stats, which I'll be covering sometime later this week, which is very interesting. Actually, like really good. The game is in a really good state. So here you can see how all the best performing players have been doing since the launch of the General's Handbook. So we always run our seasons between the launch of a book to the other launch of a book, which makes a lot more sense than running it between some arbitrary dates like, I don't know, November to November. That would be a weird choice. So this is how people have been performing through this General's Handbook. As you can see, Tom Guan still has got the top spot. He hasn't reached 900 points yet, which is the perfect score that you can get. We've got people like Gavin in second place, just behind him. We've got our only UK representative, Matthew Goldsborough here at 806. But then the rest of the top spot is taken up by Americans, with the exception of our Norwegian friend there, Geir Videld, at the bottom in 9th place. So we've got Norway and the UK in here, and then obviously the UK, the America all up in here. Now, we don't have any additional rankings points for any events that are over 50 people. And if you look, if we just go to, I don't know, page 3, you'll probably, well, maybe it'll take page 5. Page 5. So even just in 42nd place, Jacob Brandon still hasn't got his 6th event in the 8 months that Age of Sigmar 4 and this season has been out. So really, a lot of this is about tournament attendance, but that tournament attendance, as you can see at the top end, is still max points, max points, max points, max points for Tom Guan, with only 2 events without max points. So I don't want to take anything away from the people at the top. Yes, they've been to the most events, but it's about going to events that really gets you onto the rankings. So that's the player rankings are updated, which does also mean that the club rankings are updated as well. Because if you do register, whichever app you use, if you use Malarkey, if you use Best Coast Parents, or whatever you do, then you can register your club, and we'll track that information. You can see that Harambe's Heroes currently in the top spot, with the Tough Cloud being in second. Georgia Warband, Corsairs, Dimensional Cascade, they're based in Canada or Pacific Northwest. Shout out to those guys. Then you got 9 Inch Fails, based in the United Kingdom. Bottom Table Bullies is also the USA. 2D6 in Norway, and again USA. So some pretty big results for those. And then you can also check out how people are doing in the faction rankings as well. I think obviously one of the most hotly contested one is Stormcast Eternals, which is very fun to look at, and you can just type that in and go find out who is the current faction winner. We can see it's currently Dom Stonebridge, based in the UK, Colin Cochrane, based in Northern Ireland, and then Start Pista, which is fun. And then with the upcoming Soulblight Gravelords book, that'll be really fun to see, because the upcoming Soulblight Gravelords book, we can see that currently we've got Benjamin Sava, based in the UK, currently in that top spot, but not played very often or very commonly. So when that book does emerge, people might get a chance to do it. Anyway, all of the rankings are updated. Go check them out. Shout out to Warhammer Rob. He's the best. So thanks very much. He's much better at Warhammer Rob than me, the other Warhammer Rob. Right, we're going to look at the events from this weekend. It's a pretty massive weekend for Age of Sigmar. Not only was there a big team event, which we'll cover in a moment, there was also 385 players. Let's just go show this. 385 players this week, which is the 4th busiest week in AOS 4 so far. So that does mean if you are one of the Reddit people saying that Age of Sigmar is dying, you are wrong again, my friends. So pretty busy week with nearly 400 people playing. Our first massive event is the Lone Star Grand Tournament, which is taking place in Texas. It's taking place right here, in fact, at the Sheraton Hotel. A big old hotel there, which is very cool. And is organized by, let's make sure we always get this information, Matt Taylor. Shout out to Matt. Now, if we look at the placings, we can see there were 2 5-0s at this event, with James West with Flesh Eater Courts and John Anderson with Idneth Deepkin. James West was running a Flesh Eater Courts list with the Lords of the Manor battle formation. Manifestation Law was Manifested Insanity. Then Ushran a unit of Crypt Ghouls, a reinforced unit of Crypt Guard, Marshall Herald, and a reinforced unit of Morbid Knights. Then a Cardinal, Crypt Ghouls, reinforced unit of Morbid Knights, and a Varghulf Courtier. Now, James had to play against Gavin in the final, who was running a Flesh Eater Court's mirror, a Flesh Eater Court's army as well, in a Flesh Eater Court's mirror, which would have been an incredible match to watch. Big shout out to James. This is excellent. And I don't want to take anything away from him. I want to be really clear. But definitely, Flesh Eater Courts probably need a bit of a balance update now based on the past few weeks. I'm unsurprised now to see them in the top spots, either 5-0s or 4-1s, and I consider them to be one of, if not the best army. And what a difference a balanced data slate can make. Definitely made these maybe overcooked at the moment, and they're very, very good. So yeah, congratulations to James. And then also in a 5-0 slot is John Anderson. He's running Achillean Beastmasters with Morbid Conjuration. He has an aspect to the Storm, 2 units of Ishling Guard and Leviathan. Then Lotan, 2 Alapexes, and a reinforced unit of Morsair Guard. And what's interesting about this is the 2 units of Alapexes, which is quite different to what we normally see. Normally see reinforced units of Ishling Guard or reinforced, maybe reinforced Morsair Guard. Not really. We've seen Double Turtle last week, but Idoneth Deepkin definitely is doing really well. And lastly, not lastly, just in this kind of section, there's also 4 wins and a draw, which means undefeated, with Jose Arredondo, who's running a Seraphon list with the Shadow Strike Star Host and then running Forbidden Power as a manifestation law. He has a Skink Starseer, Bastildon with Solar Engine, which is a super interesting pick. You would have expected to see maybe the Ark of Sotek. I'm surprised by that, and I think it's really cool to go 4 wins and a draw with what I consider to be a 240-point pudding, so that's amazing. A reinforced unit of Croxigor, reinforced unit of Croxigor Warpspawn, and then a unit of Raptidon Chargers that was reinforced, then Skink Starseer Star Priest, then Hunters will haunt you with Dark Pipes, Raptidon Chargers, and Raptidon Hunters. So eschewing taking one of the big pieces like Croak and instead going for more bodies on the board is a real interesting choice. Especially for Seraphon, but I think it makes a lot of sense, really. Your win condition, or the win con for Seraphon, is not in casting spells unless you're intentionally going that way. And instead, your win con is doing your tactics and holding the board. And Croxigor are good for that. I guess you're getting some good shooting here as well. Surprised not to see double Hunters for tactics, but I guess the Raptidon Charge is doing the same thing. But that's also a very cool list, and I love to see it. Let's go look at the 4-1s. Okay, so looking at the 4-1s, we've got a super exciting roster. Got Kel Pig with Maggotkin and Nurgle, Kenneth King with Blades of Corn, David Rodriguez with Stormcast Eternals, Ashley Hayden with Idoneth, Gavin with Flesh Eater Courts, Randall with Cities of Sigmar, can't wait to look at that list, Chase with Seraphon, Christopher Shelley with Gloomspite Gits, double Uruk Warclans from Joe and Marco. Then we've got Jacob Matthias with Ogres and John with Flesh Eater Courts. Let's absolutely go. All right, so looking at Kel's list, he was running a Plague System Maggotkin of Nurgle called Rotbutts 2. So then he's running Aetherort Machineries. He's running Blobe, Lord of Blights, and then a reinforced unit of Putrid Blight Kings. Then a Rotbringer Sorcerer, reinforced unit of Putrid Blight Kings, and a reinforced unit of Putrid Blight Kings, and then a Rotmire Creed and Horticulate Slimmix. Really tuning up the concept of the DPT armies that are difficult to deal with. For instance, double reinforced units of Warriors of Chaos we're seeing is also a problem. And it's also the problem we're currently facing with Flesh Eater Courts. Can you do enough damage to kill everything? No. Okay, shout out to Kel. That's a great list and something we are commonly seeing now as a tactic in the edition. Not just from Nurgle, but from multiple armies running DPT check armies, so damage per turn. Can you do enough to score over? It's kind of like a mid-board alpha pin of trudgery. Anyway, Kenneth King was running a Blades of Corn army in the Bloodbound Warhorde called Sugandi's Nuts, I assume. His manifestation law was Judgments of Corn. He was running a Mighty Lord of Corn, a Deathbringer, reinforced unit of Blood Warriors, reinforced unit of Blood Warriors, Scarblood Wrath, and then 3 units of Wrathmongers with a Ritualist and a Slaughter Priest and a Blood Secretor, all taking up the heroes. He's 5 drops. He's never getting the choice to go first, but he's running that DPT check as well with those super tough blood warriors and the Wrathmongers buffing them up, sorry. So again, that's super cool to see, pretty unique as well. David Rodriguez was running a Stormcast Eternals army in the Sacrosanct Convocation, and his list is called Blitz. He's got a Straya Soulbright, 2 reinforced unit of Castigators, 2 units of Vanguard Paladors with Star Straight Javelins, and then a Knight Relictor and 2 units of Vigilers. So the Vigilers, shout out to DJ Rodriguez in the chat. I got to say that it's really unique to see the Castigators in this list. That's easily a unit of long strikes he could have taken instead. And the Straya Soulbright pick is also super interesting as well and very different. So that's very cool to see. Of course, you can't move away from how good the Vanguard Paladors are and how much utility you get from the Vigilers, but it's still super fun, different. It's rare to see nowadays, so that's awesome and very cool. Ashley Hayden was running a Achillean Beastmasters Iron Deepkin list called Stormy Seas. He was running the Manifestation or Primal Energy with an aspect of the Storm, a Leviathan, reinforced unit of Morsar Guard, and then an aspect of the Sea, and then 3 more Morsar Guard. So again, everything I've said, speed, utility, turn 3, which interestingly, when we're talking about DPT armies or we're talking about just general the play state, tempo of the game, turn 3 priors or turn 2 into turn 3 priors can be pretty key. And being able to get a lot of always strikes first there is obviously super cool. Gavin, running a list called Diddy's House of Horrors. Dick. Lords of the Manor battle formation with Morbid Conjuration. He was running Nagashi's Supreme Lord of the Undead, a Crypt Haunter Courtier, a reinforced unit of Crypt Horrors, and a reinforced unit of Morbid Knights, and then Usharan for the double dragon. In Usharan and Nagash, obviously very effective spellcasting combat. It's kind of like running the double dragon that you see from Stormcast as well. Super effective. I talked about this on the dumb tier list. Which is a video I made, seeing one of the best players in the world playing. I mean, he's got a lot of options. It must be fun. Anyway, amazing. You should run that. Listen, if you're new to Age of Sigmar, you're like, Rob, I want to go and have a fucking great time. This is it. This is party time. This is absolute party town. Okay? This is it. This is a great player with a great list, and this is just you can be a dummy and also play this. You can also be as smart as him and play it. So Randall Brasher was running a Cities of Sigmar list called the Battle Formation Fortress City Defenders. He had Callus and Toll and a unit of Fusiliers. Then he had a Sorceress, 10 Drakespawn Knights and 2 units of 5 Dark Riders, a Rune Lord with 20 Hammerers, then a Freeguild Marshal and a unit of 6 Freeguild Command Corps in this list as well. Now, this is really interesting as an army, and as we've seen multiple times across the edition, while this army, specifically cities, isn't played very much, and it's not played, it's not very competitive, when you do start to build this very specific cities list, i.e. the Rune Lord with Hammerers, the Sorceress with the Drakespawn Knights, you take Callus and Toll, very, very good. Very, very good. And it takes a lot of play, but excellent work by Randall. Then got Chase Fair running a list called Baffle Croak Cav, which was a Sunclaw Starhost Seraphon list with Morbid Conjuration, with Croak, reinforced unit of Lancers and a small unit of Lancers, and reinforced unit of Saurus Guard, which is super efficient for 120 points, but 240 for 10 is great. Skink Starseer, Raptidon Chargers, and 2 units of Ripidactyl Riders as well, and a reinforced unit of Raptidon Chargers. So yeah, super effective, very fast, but it doesn't need to engage very fast straight off the bat because it's got Croak to do a bunch of spell damage, which is very cool. And then you get pinned in with a lot of armor saves, and you got a lot of tactics there, so it's fun. Christopher Schelling was running a list called Spider Party. No way, is this spiders? With the Gloomspite Git's new book. Thanks for telling me, Christopher. Appreciate that. With the Gloomspite Horde battle formation. So it's Scragrot, an Arachnarok Spider with Spiderfang War Party, a Web Spinner Shaman on Arachnarok Spider, 3 reinforced unit of spiders, a Web Spinner Shaman on Arachnarok Spider, and Spider Riders right now. Listen, I'm super excited that no one told me someone was trying to run this list before the weekend, because I would have offered to eat my hat if anyone did well with this. This is insane. This is an insane choice, right? that this is an insane pick. To go 4-1 with it, truly insane. That's phenomenal. Well done. Like, absolutely incredible work. So proud. That's awesome. That's amazing. A 4-1, crazy work. And you should be so proud of that. That's just the best. Like, incredible stuff. And cool as hell. That's it. This is like, never mind. Well done. Brilliant. I can't say this enough, right? Incredible. Like, just I need, before anyone goes out and goes, shall I go buy loads of spiders? No, do not. This might be the only time this ever happens, but well done. This is incredible stuff. Joe Vucic was running a list called Iron Jaws It's Porking Time 4. Which is an Iron Jaws Brawl army with Aether machineries. Got Weird Knob Shaman, a reinforced unit of Brute Ragers, reinforced unit of Brutes, Mega Boss on Maw Crusher, Maw Grunter with Hacking Crew, a War Chanter and a Maw Grunter with Hacking Crew, and another War Chanter and a Weird Knob Shaman, and the Boss Rock Tower. Chat, what is happening in Texas? Wild stuff. Brutes and Ragers, Mega Boss on Maw Crusher, 2 more Grunters. You do get Strike Last Aura. Strike Last ability if you charge, which is pretty good. Boss Tower. The Boss Tower, though, could be very effective. I'm going to shout that out. And then Marco Hernandez running a list called A, which is a Weird Fist Iron Jaws army with the manifestations of Gorka Morka. And then he had a Weird Knob Shaman, a reinforced unit of Brute Ragers, a unit of Brutes, and a Maw Grunter with Hacking Crew. Then an Ard Boy Big Boss, a reinforced unit of Ard Boys, a War Chanter, and 2 units of Gore Grunters. Ooh, very cool as well. Very surprised to see the Gore Grunters in there. Not considered particularly great. Boss Rock Tower in as well for the terrain piece. Brutes going hard. Ragers going hard. Ultimately, in like a fighty meta, Brutes are good. Like, Brutes are super solid. Our boys for holding, or you could play Hammer and Anvil. Gore Grunters for tactics, maybe. But the big headline here is for Marco and Joe bringing all of the passion and enthusiasm to Iron Jaws. People very upset with that book post its launch in January. To see 2 people with a new book hitting 4-1s, they got to be super excited about that. So that's great work. Jacob Matthias was running a BCR list called an Ogre Moor Tribes list with a Beast Handlers battle formation. Manifestation Law was Primal Energy with Frostle and Stonehorn, Noblars, Gorge Moor Park, Huskard on Stonehorn Beast Riders, Huskard on Thunder Tusk, Frost Sabers, and Mornpack. Oh my god. Literally just an ogre list. Like, not even just all monsters. Yeah, a lot of monsters. I like the Gorge Moorpack as a pick. I think that puts a spook in the opponent, and they got to be like real careful. They got to be like, ooh, when are you gonna come in from the board edge? Watch out. Frost Sabers for tactics feel like they're really good as well. So that's cool to see. And then John Dalgreen was running Flesh Eater Corpse with Lords of the Manor with the Ushran, a Abhorrent Cardinal with Royal Beast Flayers, an Abhorrent Gore Warden, and then 6 Morbid Knights, 6 more Morbid Knights, and then 40 Crypt Ghouls and Grand Justice Gourmain in the list as well. So like I've said at the start, this probably should be looked at. Well, what an exciting, just a quick review from that event. What an exciting roster of armies. Iron Jaws up there, Spoilers, Cities, Nurgle and Khorne. The Khorne one, very cool as well. Absolutely excellent to see. Shout out to everyone in Texas at the Lone Star event. I hope you had a good time. A special shout out to their organizer, Matt Taylor, for organizing their event. Let's go look at the next one. I also should shout out the best overall at the event went to Caleb Hastings, who has also a YouTube channel where he talks about Seraphon pretty much. And you should go check it out. It's very cool to see. Our next event takes us to Italy for the Gods of War 5 event, where organized by Marco Dillastoro, where we had 80 players battling it out in Italy. Woohoo! Huge. Absolutely fantastic. Taking place at, I think, the Grand Hotel Apache, which is cool. We've got some cool events. Shout out for sending these to me. Sorry, great events, great pictures of the event. I apologize. You can see here, organized. So pretty nice, very spacious. Each table has got a lot of space around it, which I think is very, very comfortable. But if we go take a look at the results, we can see that we have Guillermo Famima and also Ambrosio Facchini, both of Team Italia, with undefeated records. One with Seraphon, one with Cities of Sigmar. And shocked as I was earlier with the Seraphon play, this is called the Bastille Robe with the Thunderquake Star Host, Battle Formation, and Primal Energy as a manifestation law. Lord Croak, fine. And then Bastillodon with Arcosotech, also fine. And then a double Bastillodon with Solar Engine, which is kind of blowing my mind. They don't have shooting combat, which I'm finding very uncomfortable. But they're in there. Then a Croxagore, reinforced Croxagore unit, King Stars here, a Ripidel Riders, and 2 units of Skinks, which does mean I might need to issue a public apology for my slandering of the Bastillodon with Solar Engine. But for now, I'm going to keep my peace, and I'm going to say I feel like I was in the right with that particular one. So there we go. And then we've got Ambrogio Facchini with a Cities of Sigmar list in the Ironweld Guild. He has a Manifestation Law Forbidden Power. He has Galen Van Denst and Deralia Van Denst, a Rune Lord, a unit of Hammerers, reinforced unit of Hammerers, another Rune Lord and a reinforced unit of Hammerers, a Sorceress, unit Drakespawn Knights, then Callus and Toll, as is kind of tradition. So Callus and Toll and the Van Denst with a bunch of Hammerers and the Rune Lord, very similar to what we've seen previously, and seems to be the only real way to build Cities of Sigmar at the moment. What's really exciting is thanks to Francesco, one of our Honest Wargamer infield reporters, we were able to get a quick insight into what the event looked like and also an interview with our winner. Let's go over to Francesco in Italy right now.
Hello, good evening everyone. This is Francesco from Rome, Italy, today in Pescara at Gods of War 5 with the place you can see here, the beautiful venue and this beautiful hotel right by the sea. With the winner, my friend Guglielmo, with this amazing first prize. Show it to the guys at home.
The Blades of Chaos.
Blades of Chaos from Gods of War.
Yes,
God of War at Gods of War.
Yes.
So, amazing event, 80 people with Seraphon. So, what was your hot take?
Seraphon is pretty good, and he lets you play how you want the game. So instead of let the other people play the game to you, amazing atmosphere. All the matches were amazing. Amazing people, good food, good time.
We had seafood, like roast meat, dessert, drink, wine, whatever.
So good.
Whatever you want.
Come here,
Yes.
here because it's
You
going
need to come here.
A team tournament.
Team event, yes.
So
For peoples.
For peoples, it's going to be, you have to come.
Yes. So anyways, very happy. I went for a one, so very happy for me as well. And I just want to invite everyone from you, from wherever you guys are, to come here because it's everything in the same hotel, beautiful location, amazing food. Quite kind of easy to reach as well. So,
Yes.
yeah, just come here and have fun with us. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. Best to
See you
you,
around.
Rob.
Taking a look at the 4-1s, 4 in a draw for Matteo with Cities of Sigmar. Oh my God, double Cities of Sigmar off our other Cities of Sigmar. Is it happening, chat? Is it happening? And we've got Lorenzo Tossi with Slaves of Darkness, Alessandro with Flesh-Eater Courts, Andrea with Seraphon, Francesco, our infield report with Beast of Chaos, Vincenzo with Slaves of Darkness, David, with Blades of Corn, Rocco is running Orcs again, Pietro is running Seraphon, Gianmarco is running Nighthorn, and Simone Di Baggio is running Fire Slayers, which is very cool. So let's go look at the actual list. So Matteo's cities list is an Ironworld Guild army with a manifestation or Aetherwrought machineries. He's got Galen Van Denst, Deralia Van Denst, and a reinforced unit of Freakout Fusiliers. Then a Rune Lord and a reinforced unit of Hammerers. A Rune Lord and a reinforced unit of Hammerers. A Sorceress and a reinforced unit of Drakespawn Knights. And then Callus and Toll, which I think we covered this. Yes, no, we did. So exciting and cool. More cities, more Hammerers, more Rune Lords, and Callus and Toll, obviously, and the Van Densts. So they're just good armor save, good ward save, fighter units, which are solid as hell, but definitely not the human part of the armies that are seeing play. Then we've got Lorenzo, who's running a Godswrath Warband Slaves of Darkness list with Be'lakor, a reinforced unit Chaos Chosen with the Dread Banner, a Chaos Furies, a unit of Chaos Knights, and a reinforced unit of Varangard in a one-drop, smash face, go home, party time list. Alessandro was running a list called the Mad King, which is the Lords of the Mana with the Manifestation Law, Manifested Insanity, all in Flesh-Eater Courts. Then it got Ushuan, a Mariskal Harold, a reinforced unit of Morbeg Knights twice for some good old Morbin time. Then a Borrent Cardinal, 2 units of Beast Flayers, and then Grand Justice Gormain, and another unit of Morbeg Knights. Absolutely hammer time. So yeah, everything we've ever said about Flesh Eater Courts ever applies here. They've got Andrea Gardi running Seraphon Croak list in the Eternal Star Host with Morbid Conjuration with Croak. 2 units of Hunters of Haunchy, 1 with Dark Pipes, 1 with Bowlers. 2 reinforced unit of Croxial Warpspawned, a Skink Starseer, and then a unit of Raptidon Chargers, a unit of Pterodon Riders, a unit of Pterodon Riders, and a Skink Starseer. I like the Pterodon Riders as a pick. Like they're pretty scary, and they're very juicy for 90 points. 9 health, move 14. Very good. But Croak and the Warpspawned will do some solid job with the Hunters just doing all the battle tactics, which is cool. Then Andrea Gardi was running. Oh no, I've already done that. Sorry. Then Francesco was running the Marauding Bray Herd with a Great Bray Shaman. 70 best to gore. Sorry, a Great Bray Shaman, a unit of Gore, Ungors, and Ungors. Just the last ride of the Beast of Chaos for the next 4 months, where everyone just goes and fights. Which is fantastic. Our next list is Vincenzo, running Slaves of Darkness with the God's Wrath Warband, with Be'lakor, Chaos Furies, reinforced unit Chaos Knights with the Banner of Screaming Flesh, which is wild. That's amazing. A unit of Chaos Legionnaires, a reinforced unit of Varangard, and then a Chaos Sorcerer Lord and a Chaos Chariot, giving a 5-up ward save to an incredibly fast unit of Chaos Knights with an amazing armor save and a massive health pool in what I can describe only as a pinning list from my nightmares. Then David Bazzelli is running a Blades of Khorne list with a Khornate Legion. He's running the Judgments of Khorne, and he has got the Wrath of Khorne Bloodthirster and Fetid Fury, Slaughter Priest, Karanak, the Claws of Karanak, a unit of Flesh Hounds, another unit of Flesh Hounds, and then a Bloodstoker and a unit of Skull Reapers. So instead of going to 3 Thirsters, he's opted to take 1 out to replace it with a unit of Skull Reapers, which arguably do a lot more consistent damage, but a little bit more fragile. And I think that we've seen the double, a triple, or multiple Bloodthirster list working so much better when you've added these Karanak Claws in. So very effective playstyle. And again, nice to see Khorne in the 4-1 list up. Then we've got Rocco, who's running Uruk War Clans with the Cruel Boys. That's right, get excited. With the Cruel Boys army. He's running Cruel Boys Claw with Forbidden Plower. He had a Killer Boss on Corpse Ripper Vulture, Gut Rippers, and the Merc Knob with Belcher Banner. Then a Swamp Caller Shaman, a reinforced unit of Gut Rippers, a unit of Mansecure Bolt Boys, and then a Swamp Caller Shaman of Potgrot, another unit of Mansecure Bolt Boys, and 2 more units of Monster Killers. So this is a really interesting 4-1 spot for a book that's definitely considered not to be very strong right now, especially since the update in January. So this is very cool to see, and it does seem like having a ton of bodies on the board, especially with the Gut Rippers, can still just be super effective. They got Pietro Lelli with a list called Lord Croaksigor in the Eternal Star Host in Seraphon, running Morbid Conjuration. He had Croak, reinforced unit of Croxigor, a Starseer, Hunters of Haunchy with Dark Pipes, unit of Terror Wings, then a Slan, a unit of Croxigor, and a Saurus Astaroth Bannerbearer. Now, I know some friends are going to be, some people in the chat are going to be super excited about seeing the Croak and Slan together, because obviously you've got all the output from Croak, and you've got the Slan's ability to bring models back from the dead, which is super effective. And also the Astaroth Bannerbearer for an additional 5-up ward save if you need, 6-up ward save to bring that along. So a lot of wounds that are trying to tank and then just do some damage or range. That's a very interesting pick. And then Gianmarco was running a Nighthaunt Deathstalkers list with the Chthonic Sorceries. He had Alrak, Bladegeist Revenants reinforced, Dreadscythe Harridans reinforced, Hexwraiths, and then reinforced, and a small unit of Hexwraiths, and the Guiding Souls, Crave Third Guard, Grimghast Reapers, and Pyregeists. Ultimately, Nighthaunt having an unrenderable save with a lot of bodies on the board is still good, but for some reason, their popularity's dropped off. And I don't think it's because of how well they're doing. I think people have just played them a lot over the last 8 months. Then finally, Simone DiBaggio is running a Fire Slayers list in the Forge Brethren. He's running an Uruk Runefather on Magmadroth, and then a Doomseeker, then an Uruk Runemaster, and a reinforced unit of Hearthguard Berserkers with broad axes. Then an Uruk Runesmiter, and then another reinforced unit of Hearthguard Berserkers with broad axes. Then another reinforced unit of Hearthguard Berserkers, but this time with Flamestrike pole axes. Then Volkite Berserkers with Blade Sling Shields reinforced, Doomseeker, and then another unit of Hearthguard Berserkers with broad axes on the list. So just a ton of dudes on the board. They're not easy. They're easy enough to kill, but they're very, very tough, and they'll hit you very, very hard. Anyway, the event that we're looking at, Gods of War 5, is obviously going to have a follow-up event, Gods of War 6. And if you're based in Italy or anywhere near Italy, I know the Italian community is really desperate. Not desperate, that's not the wrong word. Very excited about having a bunch of people over from other countries. So, if you're based in Spain or France or Germany, and you get the opportunity to go over there, I know that they put on a massive food spread. They get lots of people in, and they're very welcoming, and they're really excited to have more people come and hang out in their community and play with them. So if you get the chance to go over there and play, obviously you get a chance to see the beautiful Italy as well. You should go contact them. It's all on the BCP page, the Gods of War stuff. Anyway, let's go look at the next event. Our next event is Sheffield Slaughter 2025, a yearly event and one of the oldest Warhammer events in the world you can go to. And it was organized this year by the Sheffield Slaughter. You can see it right there. So in the placings, we can see we've got 2 5-0s with Orpheus and Jim. Don't forget, Orpheus is 14. So shout out to Orpheus. He's a badass, so shout out to him. He's running Slaves of Darkness. And Jim Wilson, who was running a Sylvaneth list. So let's take a moment to look at those. Orpheus was running a list called Creative Dark Oath list. Yes, with a Godrath Warband with Be'lakor, a unit of Dark Oath Fell Riders, a unit of Varangard that was reinforced, a unit of Chosen that was reinforced with a Dread Banner, and then a unit of Raptorics, and then a Chaos Sorcerer Lord, and what can only be described as good enough that even a 14-year-old could play it. But Orpheus is also badass, so shout out to him. He's cool, and he's great. So great work, Orpheus. Let's go. And then we got Jim Wilson was running a Outcast Sylvaneth list with Morbid Conjuration. He had a War Song Revenant, a reinforced unit of Kurnoth Hunters with Greatswords, Belthanos, 2 units of Gossamed Archers, a Branch Witch, a unit of Tree Revenants, Arch Revenant, and Kurnoth Hunters with Scythes. This is the second time in as many weeks we've seen a non-Alarielle based list, making up for those points by having other units and bringing more utility into the army. So 2 units of Kurnoth Hunters that can smash with Belthanos, spell support from the War Song Rev, Branch Witch, and the Tree support and the Tree Revs. Very interesting to see. Will we see one next week? Will we see 3 in a row? That's a great joke that Owen just gave me. Thanks. Let's go look at the 4-1s. Now we get a chance to look at the 4-1s. You can see another packed field. It's nice that we've seen packed field in Italy this weekend, packed field in the USA, packed in the United Kingdom. What's also fun about this is you had a bunch of the absolutely fantastic Norwegians travel over in the Videld family. So both Newt, Gear, and also Johannes. So great to see them. But also nice different roster. We've got Stormcast, Maggotkin, Sylvaneth, Daughters of Cain. Shout out to Jack, young Jack over from Team Bash. Idoneth Deepkin again. So they've had a consistent performance level over the past 6 months, which has been very cool to see. Slaves of Darkness, Sons of Behemoth. That's not Alex's fault. I'm sure he just wanted a comfortable weekend. Dom Stonebridge taking Stormcast Eternals, Farron with Seraphon, and Jimmy with Skaven. So Skaven's a nice pick to see in there as well, especially off some of the other stuff we've seen this week. So Baz is running a list called Sigmar Shock and Awesome, which is a Sentinels of Bleak Citadels list with its Krondys, reinforced unit of Prosecutors, a unit of Vanguard Raptors, and a Vanguard Palador unit with Starstrike Javelins, and a Lord Relictor, and a unit of Vigilers as well. So that's very cool, but very classic now in Age of Sigmar 4 terms. And also Baz is great. And then Samuel Kimberley with the Order of the Grandmother Myrtle list, which is a Plague Cyst Maggotkin of Nurgle list with Primal Energy as a manifestation law, was running a Rotbringer Sorcerer, a Lord of Blights, 3 reinforced unit of Putrid Blight Kings, which I think is 120 health on a 4-up save and a 5-up ward save, which is insane. And then the Regiment of Renowned Archaeons Chosen, which is a unit of Chaos Knights, Chaos Lord and Demonic Mount, and a unit of Chaos Warriors, which is fascinating. And I'd love to know why Samuel decided to do that. That's very cool. Then Newt is running a Lariel, a Sylvaneth list with Lords of the Cans, 90 wounds, sorry. Blight Kings went down to 3 wounds, thank you. So 90 health with a 3-up, 5-up. That's still a lot to get through. Let's be real. Anyway, Newt was running a Silver Earth list in Lords of the Clans with a Manifestation or Morbid Conjuration. He had a Lariel, a unit of Gossamer Archers, a Warsong Rev, a unit of Gossamer Archers, a Branch Witch, Belthanos, and a unit of Kernoth Hunters with Kernoth Scythes. So probably close to the cookie cutter, or normally you see the Warsong Rev be a Durthu. So adding more magical support in there is super interesting, especially with the Gossamer Archers. Very cool. I like that a lot. Then Jack Williams on the Submarine was running a Daughters of Cain Cauldron Guard list with the Bloodrat Shrine and then 3 units of Canary Life Takers for battle tactics. Love to see that. Cruethsa the Crone Seer with a unit of Cainite Shadow Stalkers and a High Gladiatrix. Excuse me. Someone written a new list in Age of Sigmar. Oh my god. And then a Slaughter Queen on Cauldron of Blood, and then 3 units of 20 Witch Elves, and then a unit of 20 Sisters of Slaughter with bladed bucklers. Incredible. Now, they're massive glass cannons, the Witch Elves, but they're absolutely fantastic if you get it off. I guess using the Life Takers to screen would be a good option for being able to make that happen. The Cruethsa of the Crone Seer in here is a wild take. And what a fantastic play by Jack. That's stunning. Might be my favorite list of the week. That's awesome. Brilliant work by Jack there. That's great. Givadelt, just superstar, and currently 9th best performing player in the world. We're in a list called Ironeth Turtle C&T Eel C, which is an Ironeth Deepkin list called the Achillean Beastmaster's Battle Formation with Morbid Conjuration. He's got an aspect to the sea, reinforced unit of Ishling Guard twice, and a smaller unit of Ishling Guard. Then an Achillean Leviathan and the Saviors of Cinderfall. All right. Not quite double Leviathan in here, but still very cool, and I love to see it. And then we've got Ash Coleman, and that's how you get 9th, ladies and gentlemen. So you get 9th, you get them eels out. Ash Coleman was running a list called Black Talons, which is another Ironeth Deepkin list with the Achillean Beastmasters, with an aspect to the Sea Eidolon, a Leviathan, 2 reinforced units of Morsar Guard, and another unit of Morsar Guard, and another unit of, this is a unit of the Black Talon. Wait, did they both have Black Talons? No, one had, Gear had the Saviors of Cinderfall, and instead, Ash decided to go for the Black Talons, but they both got the same result. Interesting. Very cool, as a regiment of renown. So, I'm definitely loving those regiments of renown. Then Johannes was running a Slaves to Darkness Godswrath Warband list called One Drop Uten Bella. I've definitely said that wrong. Which is a Manifestation Law Forbidden Power with a Gaunt Summoner, a reinforced unit of Chaos Chosen with the Banner of Screaming Flesh, a unit of Chaos Chosen, a Raptrix, and a reinforced unit of Varangard. So taking Bellacore away and just making sure that you have 20 Chosen and 6 Varangard is wild and super cool and pretty horrific, I gotta say. That's awesome. Then we got Alex Forsyth running the Sons of Behemoth Breaker Tribe list with Kragnos, 3 individual Man Crushers, King Brod, and a Gatebreaker Mega Gargant. It was said that Alex made 3 to 4 decisions per game, and he loved it. He had hours to spare, and he left the event fresher than he started the event. So shout out to Alex. That's great. Dom was running a Stormcast Eternals list called the Heralds of the Emerald Dawn with a Lightning Echelon battle formation. He was running Karazai and a unit of Praetors, and then a Lord Celestial Stardrake with a unit of Vigilers, and then a Knight Relictor with a unit of Liberators, and then the Celestin Prime, who is really popping off at the moment with Vanguard Raptors Long Strike Crossbows. Super popular. A lot of people are taking him right now. Not sure why. I think he's just fine, but I guess it just adds a second really difficult fast hammer for people to deal with while you're trying to deal with a Lord Celestial Stardrake and Karazai. So that's super fun. Then you got Farron running a list called MILF, Man I Love Frogs, which is a Seraphon Sunclaw Starhost list with Lord Croak, a reinforced unit of Agrodon Lancers, 2 units of 3 Croxagorn, not reinforced, then a unit of Saurus Guard. Then a Skink Starseer, 2 Hunters of Haunchy with Starstone Bowlers, and a unit of Pterodon Riders in the list as well. So that's interesting, breaking down the Croxagor into individual 3s versus a big unit of 6. And the Saurus Guard as well, being not as popular as other people take them, but they are incredible, not as popular as other, they're not very popular in other lists, sorry, but they're incredibly cheap for 120 points. So very, very fun. Then we got Farron. Oh, no, not Farron. Then we got Big Fellas being run by Jimmy Wild, who was running the Thanquol's Mutated Menagerie, which is a big shout out because this is coming from that kind of part of the UK, Sheffield specifically, where there was also, this was also being played by someone else in, I think, the same gaming group, right? Running a list called, using the Primal Magic Manifestation Law with Thanquol on Bone Ripper, Reinforced Unit of Storm Fiends, Master Molder, Help It Abomination, and Rat Ogres, then a Master Molder and another Reinforced Unit of Storm Fiends. So 2 full units of Storm Fiends with Thanquol and Bone Ripper, and the Master Molder and all of the bonuses you get from Thanquol's Menagerie, which makes them that much more effective. They're already good anyway for their points, but they get better in this specific build, which is the Army of Renown, which is just awesome. Anyway, hope everyone had a great time at Sheffield Slaughter, but Skaven, different Skaven, a third time we've seen Thanquol's Mutated Menagerie in Age of Sigmar competitive lists do well. Then we've seen a ton of other little fun bits. Here we saw Daughters of Cain. That was wicked. Loved seeing that. That was cool. Different Idoneth builds. Sons of Behemoth, I guess. That was there. And even a fun little Sylvaneth list. So again, diverse and interesting and a little bit different to what we expected to see. Our next event takes us to sunny Scotland for the Clash of Clans 5 event, which they hold, where they've got teams of 5 battling out 8 teams of 5 in a team format. And if you didn't listen to the show last week, I did say that we would start covering team events because this adds another 48, no, whatever it adds. It adds some amount more people to our roster, taking us over 400 people playing this weekend, easily over 400 people playing 2-day events this weekend, which is cool. Anyway, Scotland's scene is really excellent, and it's teams of 6, not even teams of 5. So I'm completely wrong on that front. It is teams of 6. But if we go look at the placings, we can see that the 1 Pope and 5 Kings list, team, they were able to take out the event. And as I've said previously, team events normally end up with kind of slightly off meta or more skew lists because you can organize the pairings. But we'll have to see if that ends up being the case. So if we go look at the list, we can see that Alan, who's part of the team, was running a list called Hell's Bells, which is Slaves to Darkness, God's Wrath Warband list with Be'lakor, Chosen with the Dread Banner, Chaos Furies, Chaos Knights, and Reinforced Unit of Varangard. So not too dissimilar what you'd see from a singles event. Then Callum Sinclair was running a Fire Slayers list in the Warrior Kimbad. He had an Auric Runefather, a Grimwrath Berserker. This is all in Warrior Kimbad. Unit of Hearthguard Berserkers with Berserker Broadaxes, easily one of the longest names in Warhammer for me to constantly announce. Then an Auric Runemaster, a unit of Volkite Berserkers with Bladed Sling Shields, and then an Auric Runesmiter, another unit of Hearthguard Berserkers with Flamestrike Poleaxes. Lord have mercy on me. A unit of Vulcan Flameseekers, and then another regiment with an Auric Runesmiter, a reinforced unit of Hearthguard Berserkers with Berserker Broadaxes, and then a reinforced unit of Hearthguard Berserkers, Hearthguard Berserkers, if you want me to say it that way, with Flamestrike Poleaxes. Okay, lots of bodies on the board, very fighty, very fun. Craig Robertson was running a Flesh Eater Courts list called Please Pair Me into Connor Booth. he's running a Lords of the Manor list with a Borant Cardinal, and then a unit of Crypt Horrors. Usharan, a reinforced unit of Morbeg Knights, a unit of Crypt Horrors, a reinforced unit of Morbeg Knights, then a Crypt Haunted Courtier, all in the list. So not too dissimilar to what you would see in a singles list. Then Jamie McHugh was running a Stormcast Eternals Lightning Echelon list. He was running Karazai, a unit of Praetors, a small unit of Stormdrake Guard, small unit of Stormdrake Guard, but still 4 Stormdrake Guard, Vanguard Paladors with Starstrike Javelins, Knight Arcanum, and a unit of Vigilers. Very interesting not taking a big unit of 4 and 2 units of 2. So it's a little bit different to what we have been seen played. Then we've got Lee Martin running a Hedonites of Slaanesh list, running a Seeker Cavalcade, and he was running the Shardspeaker of Slaanesh, 10 Blissbarb Seekers, 20 Blissbarb Archers, 20 more Blissbarb Archers, and 10 more Slickblade Seekers. Then 5 Slickblade Seekers, 5 Slickblade Seekers, and 5 more Slickblade Seekers in the list as well. So while that is a lot of shooting, that's 4 combat blocks in the sorry, there's no combat blocks actually. They're all Blissbarb Seekers. It's just a lot of shooting. It's just a ton of shooting, and this is very different to what we've seen, apart from outside of Tom Guan over in the USA. So excellent. And they've got Paul Duca running, oh my God, it's back. Skaven Fleshmeld Menagerie running the Manifestation or Manifestations of Doom. So this is the Army of Renown with a Greyseer, unit of Rat Ogres. Oh, no, wait. No, it's not. It's not the Army of Renown. I've changed my mind. That is not. I haven't changed my mind. I've actually just said the right information. It's not the Army of Renown. It's a Greyseer, a unit of Rat Ogres, a unit of Storm Fiends, and another unit of Storm Fiends, and a third unit of Storm Fiends. Whew. Wow. Game design. That's why I say game design. Anyway, I imagine this was a fantastic event, and I hope everyone loved it. Scotland's a great community. Get the chance if you get the chance. I don't know if it was sold out. Maybe it was. But if you get the chance to go up there, a team of 6, go battle it out at the Clash of Clans 6 next year. That'd be cool to do. Our next event takes us to Michigan for the Old Man Gaming Open, organized by Old Man Gaming and Jake Myers. Shout out to Old Man Gaming, who sent me this picture of one of the 5-0 attendees, Michael Roush, Swaggy Shadow Sword, fresh off a team event. Doing well here. Shout out. That's cool to see. Okay, so we've got 2 5-0s from this 44-player event. And our 2 5-0s are Owen Malley with a Seraphon list and Michael Roush with a Blades of Corn list. So Owen was running a list called Croak's Cretaceous Crackheads, using the Sunclaw Star Host battle formation and the Kronspine Incarnate. It had Lord Croak, a unit of Lancers, a unit of Croxagore, a Saurus Astaroth Banner Bearer of all things, a reinforced unit of Saurus Guard, a Skink Star Priest, a unit of Hunters of Haunchy with Starstone Bowlers, and a unit of Raptidon Chargers. So, I mean, Croak is so back now. Maybe he's too back. Please let me know what you think of that. And then Michael Roush was running a list called Welcome to the Cornfields, which is a Cornate Legion with the Judgments of Corn, with the Might Lord of Corn, a Bloodsecrator, a realm called Ritualist, a Bloodthirster, Incense of Rage, Scar Bloodwrath, a reinforced unit of Wrathmongers, 2 small units of Wrathmongers, and then an Aspiring Deathbringer and a reinforced unit of Blood Warriors. And that is the second time we have seen Blood Warriors and Wrathmongers doing so well that we're featuring on the stat show. Are Corn back, ladies and gentlemen? It's time to start asking that question. This is the beginning of a trend. Let's go. Looking at the 4 1s, again, a very diverse kind of list. Ogre Moortribe, Sylvaneth, Maggotkin and Nurgle, Stormcast Eternals, LRL as well for LRL fans, which is cool to see. So Luke was running a list called Oh My God, Open Ogre Moortribes, which was a Beast Handlers list with a Kronspine Incarnate, with a Frostlord and Stonehorn, a Mournfang pack, 2 Stonehorn Beast Riders, Askard and Stonehorn, another unit of Stonehorn Beast Riders, a Slaughtermaster, and a small unit of Iron Guts. So, all the impact all the time. Awesome. Brian Stone was running a list called Burning Woodland Defenders, which was a Sylvaneth Outcast list with a Branch Witch, a unit of Kurnoth Hunters with Great Bows that was reinforced, and a unit of Kurnoth Hunters with Scythes that was reinforced. Belthanos, Gossamer Archers, a reinforced unit of Spike Rider Lancers, and a Warsong Rev. And ladies and gentlemen, that is another time where we're seeing a Sylvaneth list without a Lariel. So that does indeed make it tree counts, which is excellent. Then Jack Carwood was running 30 Blight Kings, Oh My God, as a list, which is a Maggotkin of Nurgle list with the Manifestation Law Forbidden Power of the Plague Cyst battle formation. And in his list is going to shock you. There's a Rotbringer Sorcerer, Lord of Blights, unit of Putrid Blight Kings, a unit of Putrid Blight Kings, and a unit of Putrid Blight Kings, all of which were reinforced. And then a Regiment of Renown, Lord Scalador's Chosen, which was unit of Chaos Knights, Chaos on Demonic Mount, and Chaos Warriors. This is wild. Second time this is done really well. 30 Blight Kings. The DPT checks are real in Age of Sigmar now. Then we've got a Stormcast Eternals list of the Lightning Echelon using the Manifestation of Primal Energy. And his list is called Why Play Varangard Chamber when you can play 2 big dragons, ? Which has got Karazhan the Scarred, a unit of Praetors, and then a Lord Celestial on Stardrake, a Storm Coven, a unit of Vigilers, a Lord Relictor, a reinforced unit of Prosecutors, and a unit of Vigilers. So, why play Varangard when you can play 2 big dragons is the real question. And the answer here is you can just play the big dragons. And then we've got Jeff Campbell running an AOS 4 LRL list of the Venari Battle Host battle formation with the Manifestations of Heesh, Severith, Alania and Elathor, a reinforced unit of Sentinels, a reinforced unit of Dawn Riders, and a Star Shard Ballista. Then an Enlightener, a small unit of Wardens, and a unit of Blade Lords. Very much gone from their height 6 months ago. We barely see any Lumineth armies do well at all. So it's really fun to see here because they definitely have got a lot of tricks and a lot of abilities to play, but they just don't seem to be hitting the podiums. Anyway, a special shout out to the organizers of the event, because organizers and TOs are the best people in the world. And thanks for sending me pictures. It's great to see everyone be happy. And if you get the chance to go out there and go play some Warhammer with those people, you should, because they look like treasures. So our next event is the FLG Cherokee Open, which hosted for 32 players in the USA, taking place in North Carolina. FLG is a series of events that you can attend. I think they host one a month. I'm sure if you're in the USA, you know about them. But if you don't, then you can go check those out. Anyway, it was organized. It was organized by, who was it organized by? By Andrew Simmons. Shout out to Andrew. Loads of love. And we've got, let's go look at the list, shall we? So first place is Tobias with the Slaves to Darkness list. He is running a, let's check this out for a second. He is running a Slaves to Darkness Godwrath Warband list with Be'lakor, Reinforced Unit Chaos Chosen, a unit of Algroid Myrmidons, and 2 units of Algroid Therodons, which is really interesting to see, and a Gaunt Summoner. That is a wild pick in today's modern world, but I guess Chosen could carry through anything, so that's fun. Then we've got Devon Scalf as running a Stormcast Eternals list with Sentinels at the Bleak Citadels, with Karazai, Ynastra, 2 units of Prosecutors and a unit of Praetors, then Ionas, a unit of Reclusian, and then a unit of Long Strike Crossbows, but not reinforced. Seeing Ynastra in there in the 4-1, very fun to see. Then we've got then we've got Logan Young, running Be'lakor's Blood Boys, which is a Slaves to Darkness Godwrath Warband list with Be'lakor, Chaos Chosen, Chaos Lord, 2 units Chaos Warriors, a Chaos Sorcerer Lord, a Chaos Chariot, and a small unit of Chosen. Very interesting. So a lot more board presence than some of the other bigger lists, but very, very cool. Shout out to Logan. Then Michael was running a list called Spam, Sausage, Eggs, and Spam, which is a Sacrosanct Convocation Stormcast Eternals list with 14 auxiliary units. He's running the Manifestation Law Forbidden Power, and he has a Knight Arcanum, a Knight Relictor, 3 units of Castigators, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and count them if you've got nothing to do, 11 units of Vigilers in the list, which is just an insane list. Not only to do well, but to go 4-1 is insane. That's so very fun. Yes. Well, it's been a great weekend of great lists. Wow. I'm having a great time. Shout out to Michael. You've done it. That's phenomenal stuff. That's great work. You're a superstar. Then we got Jason Goyoka running a Heat Knights and Seeker Cavalcade list with a Glutos, a unit of Slickblade Seekers, and Silvermesh Twin Souls. Then a Keeper of Secrets, some Blitzbarb Archers, Fiends, and the Mask. Woo! Very different. Look at that. Keeper of Secrets and Glutos. I've not seen you in a moment. The Twin Souls, not seen you in here either. That's phenomenal. Finally, Damian Lopez with a list called When the Bedsheets Fight Back, which is a Deathstalkers army for Nighthaunt with Lady Olinda, a reinforced unit of Blade Geist Revs, Dreadblade Harrows, Glaive Wraith Stalkers that were reinforced, Spirit Torment, Aura the Drowner, Blade Geist Revenants, and 2 units of Dreadscythe Harridans. It's quite an interesting list. A lot of little small units to pin down, which I guess is tough for some of the larger bricks to do. Anyway, well done to the TOs for organising the event, Michael for the fantastic list, and I hope everyone had a really great time. We had another team event this weekend in Canada, which is very cool to see. And in first place, we had the Sabetti Dynasty, presented by Little Caesars. This was, if I've got this right, a 8-person team event taking place in Canada, organized by Josh Aikins and located at St. Catharines, Ontario. There were 5 players in each team, and here's a great picture of a bunch of the players all hanging out with Team Canada taking first and second place, which is very cool to see. But if we go take a moment to talk about, this event, by the way, was called the Dwellers Below Team Tournament. If we take a moment to look at Sabeti Dynasty presented by Little Caesars lists, we can see that Carl Ong was playing a list called I Suck at Teams, which is a Thunderquake Star Host list with a Kronspine Incarnate, with Lord Croak, a Basidon with Arcosotek, an Engine of the Gods, a Croxagore unit that was reinforced, Saurus Guard, a Stegodon Chief, and then an Engine of the Gods and some Hunters of Haunchy with Starstone Bowlers, which is a wild pick, having the Engine of the Gods in there, but in the right situation, it could do some real good work. Devin Cortman, who's also in the team, was running a list called Worlds, which is a Bloodbound Warhorde army with an Aspiring Deathbringer, 2 reinforced unit of Blood Warriors, 2 reinforced unit of Wrathmongers, Rumgor Ritualist, Claws of Karanak, another reinforced unit of Wrathmongers, and Wrathmongers. I don't know about you, but it does feel like they are back. Cornerback with Blood Warriors and Wrathmongers, and that might be one of the scariest plays out there. Jake Swegwin was running a list called Yes, which is a Cities of Sigmar Fortress City Defenders list with Forbidden Power, with Galian and Doralia Vendensed, a Rune Lord with Hammerers, and another unit of Hammerers, then Callus and Toll's Companions, then the Sorceress with some Drakespawn Knights that were reinforced, and 2 more units of Drakespawn Knights. Also looks like Cities are back. As long as it's that very specific army, Cities are back. Then Mark Polinsky was running a list called Sweet Release, which is an Ironeth Deepkin Achillean Beastmasters army with Aetherwrought Machineries. He had an Eidon of Mathlan, an Achillean Leviathan, 2 units of Morsar Guard, and a smaller unit of Morsar Guard. And then the Black Talons in the list as well. So again, very cool to see. And then finally, Michael Sabetti in the team was running a Krondis 1-drop list called Stormcast Eternal, the Vanguard Wing battle formation, with a Manifestation or Morbid Conjuration, with Krondis, unit of Castigators that were reinforced. What? Again? 2 units of Vanguard Paladins with Starstrike Javelins, a unit of Vigilers in the list. There's Castigators out there just having a great time, apparently. But Krondis and the Big Dragon doing well. Anyway, don't forget team events are always a little bit skewed, but a great little crew here. Shout out to La Sabeti Dynasty's downfall for not being able to win the event. That's very fun. That takes us up to 3 team events this weekend. We've added another 40 players onto our roster. I think that's taken us up to nearly 500 players playing this weekend, playing competitive Age of Sigmar this weekend alone. Don't believe Reddit. It's not a dead game. Our next event is Du Bois GT Golden Sprue 2025, organized by Joshua Keel over in New York, specifically in Schenectady in New York. I've definitely said that. Bang on. Anyway, if we go look at the placings, we can see that Dylan Theroux with the Cities of Sigmar has won the event. That's Cities of Sigmar again. What is happening in before Callus and Toll, Hammerers, etc., etc.? Let's go have a look. So he's running a list called 360, which is an Ironweld Guild army with a Manifestation or Forbidden Power, with Galen and Doralia Vendensed, Callus and Toll, and a unit of Wilder Corpse Hunts. Then a Rune Lord with some Hammers and another unit of Hammerers. Then a Sorceress, unit of Dark Riders, and a unit of Dark Shards, which is cool to see. So as long as you run this very specific, almost entirely non-human Cities of Sigmar army, they might be one of the better armies out there, which is amazing to see. Great. Then if we start looking at the 4-1s, we can see Sean Cushing was on a list called Big Tree, which is a Lords of the Clans Sylvaneth army with a Lariel, a reinforced unit of Kernoth Hunters with great swords, Belthanos, a Warsong Rev, and then the Black Talons as a regiment of renown. Then we've got Luke Scannell with a list called Nurglings Not Included, which is a Maggotkin of Nurgle list with the Aetherwrought Machineries. The Glotkin, unit of Plague Drones, Putrid Black Kings, reinforced, Rotmire Creed, Great and Clean One, Plague Drones, and Rotmire Creed. Wow, 2 big guys in there as well. Very interesting. That's cool. Now seeing Nurgle in there again. That's our 3rd Nurgle. Then we've got Basil in Ferrara with a list called Monstar, which is a Seraphon list with a Thunderquake Star Host. Lord Croak, Basilionalon with Arcosotek, an Engine of the Gods for this healing, and the Saurus Guard. Very cool and very in right now. And then you got the Stegodon Chief, an Engine of the Gods, a Skink Oracle on Troglodon, an Engine of the Gods, 2 Engine of the Gods, and then a Hunters of Haunchy with Starstone Bowlers. Wow. Really trying to roll on those tables and get the big buffs on there. That's very interesting to see. Wouldn't have expected that. That's very fun. This is super cool. I love that. And then we got Hunter Armstrong running a Mortal Battery Seraphon list with the Eternal Star host, and then the Manifestation Lord Morbid Conjuration. Lord Croak, Bastillodon with the Arcosotech, Bastillodon with the Solar Engine, which is our third Bastillodon with the Solar Engine this weekend. A Skink Star Priest, Slan Starmaster, a Slan and Croak, Saurus Guard, Saurus Warriors, and Saurus Warriors. What is happening in Seraphon Town? They're everywhere. They're diverse. They're taking picks I would not expect, like Engine of the Gods. Bastillodons with Solar Engines are like E tier, in my opinion. That's a wild take. That's crazy to see. Very interesting choices. Shout out to everyone at that event. Hope they had a good time. Our last event takes us over to Sweden for the Realm of Geddon 2025 event, where 12 players battled it out in Sweden, with our first place being won by Theo Papachrystodula running a Sylvaneth list. He was running a Lariel with a Tree Lord in the list as well. Wow. Belthanos, a unit of Gossamer Archers, a Tree Rev, and then 6 Kurnoth Hunters with Kurnoth Sides, and then a Branch Witch. But taking a Tree Lord is a wild take, but it's cool to see in there. And Theo has done really well over multiple seasons. Would you believe it? Over multiple seasons, and has done really well continuously, so I'm not surprised to see that. And then in second place is Rasmus Nilsson with 4 wins and a loss, so 4-1, also with Sylvaneth, with the Lords of the Clan list, with a Manifestation Law, Manifestations of the Deepwood, a Lariel, a Tree Lord, a Spirit of Durthu, 2 units of Tree Revenants, and then a Belthanos and a Warsong Revenant, which does mean that we're in a position of even more Sylvaneth. So let's try to wrap up what has been a crazy and a genuinely crazy week for Age of Sigmar. Number one, a very busy week with nearly 500 people playing around the world, and our 4th busiest week of Age of Sigmar 4 so far, which is very cool. Some big events in multiple different countries, UK, USA, and Italy. 3 team events popping off, 2 or 3. I think 2 team events popping off as well, Scotland and Canada. So lots of people playing, community thriving, people enjoying themselves. When we start talking about the lists, well, very, very wild. We got some very interesting out there things like our Daughter of Cain one that we saw. Even in the kind of safe Croak is back choices, we saw lists, units I was not expecting, like Stegodon Chiefs, Bastillodons with Solar Engines. Absolutely hot takes there. Very surprised. Not only to see them see play, but to see them do well. So that's a real and honest thing. Obviously, lots of Slaves to Darkness all over the place. Fleshy at Courts definitely was something that we talked about as we started the video. But, you know, they kind of dropped off as we went around the world and we looked at other little bits. Sylvaneth, very popular. Ironeth Deepkin, very popular. It was nice seeing Iron Jaws in there. We saw that one stray Cruel Boys as well. But Iron Jaws felt fairly consistent. So a lot of different armies in a lot of different places. And even those armies breaking up the consistency, I think, a little bit. Maybe people are just in the jazz phase of where we are in the season. We're 8 months into the season, just about to start our 9th month of the season. So lots of people doing something a little bit different and trying something new out because they know how the battle tactics work. They know how the battle plans work. Maybe they're trying to get in front of some updates as well. We're getting towards the end of February, so we should be seeing some sort of balance update. Not necessarily our battle scroll, that'll be next month, but those end of month changes that we maybe are going to see, but very different and very diverse, which is very cool. And it looks like people are having fun as well. The pictures, the videos, it looks like people are just taking their toys to events and they're having a good time, which is really all you can want from a game system and a community. So that's cool to see as well. So suck it, Reddit. The game's doing great, which is nice to see. So I hope everyone enjoyed this video. As always, a good way to support me if you like what I do and create, then you can join us on the Honest Wargamer Patreon. I know I'd appreciate that. And if the best you could do is like the video, leave a comment and, subscribe, that would be awesome too. I'm close to getting towards 30,000 subscribers, which would be fun to do. And I'd love that. So anyway, thanks very much. See you all soon. Look after yourselves. Goodbye.